Hello. Welcome, my web warriors. It's your boy, Mr. Degenerate here. Back at it again for another video. And oh boy. Ooh-wee, web warriors. We are near the crux. We are so close. You can almost taste that Spider-Man 2 greatness. Alright? Over the weekend, they came out with the launch trailer. Don't watch it if you don't want some spoilers. But I'm telling you, this is going to be a peak Spider-Man game. And to celebrate the launch of Spider-Man 2 in a few days, almost there guys, almost there, I wanted to take the time and do a tier list, because while I was getting excited, while I was celebrating the greatness that is Spider-Man 2 that's about to launch, I decided, hey, let me go on YouTube and watch some Spider-Man tier list videos. And I was very disappointed in what I was seeing. I saw a bunch of people's tier lists, and I was like, you guys know nothing about web swinging. I saw a lot of people out there talking about they only played the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 1 game, and that's it. And I'm like, motherfuckers, you haven't web swing. Alright, I'm very disappointed. Give me your web shooters. You guys all suck. So I decided, fuck it. I'm gonna take my time and make a tier list. I actually have a whole list of the Spider-Man games I have played and I have completed. So, and some of these I'm gonna go off of memory, but lo and behold, I'm ready to do this fucking tier list because I'm tired of you fucks. I'm about to ask y'all really to give me your fucking web shooters. Also, again, just to remind y'all, this is gonna be my tier list. So if you don't like it, you can make your own. I'm gonna leave a link to this tier list in the description box below. So to kick things off, we're gonna go with the first ever Spider-Man game. Yes, that's right. I have played the first ever Spider-Man game. First ever Spider-Man game. This is from, I think this is the Atari 2600 Spider-Man game, the first ever one. And I'm gonna put this in fucking gutter trash. This is fucking garbage. This game is horrible. But before just moving on, I do want to say how I got to play this, because little backstory. Back when I was a little web warrior, a little webber, my mother was a home health aide, and at the time she was taking care of a patient, this white old like kindergarten lady, and she retired, and she one day had to bring me over to her job because, you know, single mom, you know, struggling, whatnot. And the lady was so nice, she allowed me to sit out front and like sit in the living room and watch some cartoons and had a bowl of cereal, and it was all fucking cool. It was all great. And then she was like, hey, you want to play a video game? Only thing I have is the Atari 2600, which I've never seen that shit before until that time. Mind you, this is like 1994, so yes, I'm showing my age right now. I'm an old school, old ass head. Yes, leave me a fuck alone, web warriors. All right. So yeah, I got to play this game, and I remember my experience with this game very well. And it was fucking trash. Like, climbing in this game is fucking garbage. The controls just suck ass. It looks awful. Again, I'm not trying to disrespect the OGs, even the late and great web warriors. But man, y'all was struggling back then with these Spider-Man games. This shit was ass garbage. And funny enough, I actually, because the console, the Atari 2600 wasn't even hers, it was her son. And funny enough, later on, I actually bumped into her son when I was like 13, which is funny enough. And me and him chalked it up about that game, and turned out he was like a huge Spider-Man fan. He actually owned a lot of Spider-Man comic books at that time, and it was dope, man. So I have very fond memories of this game, but as a game, this This game sucked. So we're moving on from that. Next. Spider-Man and the X-Men in arcade revenge. Where am I gonna put this? We gonna put this in fucking gutter trash. More gutter trash, bro. We gotta get through the gutter trash. So positives and negatives of this game. I would say the best part of this game is that after you beat a level or save one of the X-Men, you can play as them. So I believe it was Storm, Gambit, Wolverine, and Cyclops. And so you could play in particular levels with them, and they were pretty cool. But I would say Storm was the worst character in that game. I don't know. I don't know what is with fucking people putting fucking disrespecting black people back in these days. But man, y'all gave Storm the water level. Yeah, her levels sucked donkey dick. So yeah, Storm was fucking garbage. I had the Sega Genesis version of this game, so it looked ugly from what I've heard. The Sega Genesis version is not that good. But the Super Nintendo version is really good looking. I've only had the Sega Genesis, so Sega Genesis version was ugly as fuck. And the last thing, this game is just fucking hard. It's hard for no reason. And I'm used to hard games. Like, the next coming games are pretty hard as well. But man, this game is hard and it controls like ass. And I think this should have been an easy win. But, you know, it is what it is. And it sucks because this is like the first game where I get two of my favorite heroes, in particular Spider-Man and Wolverine, in a game together, and it fucking sucked. But yeah, moving on. Then we have Maximum Carnage. Spider-Man and Venom Maximum Carnage. Oh my goodness. Where am I gonna put this shit? A tier, baby. You had to been there when this game came out. Like, this was the talk of the town when this fucking game came out, bro. Like, if you were a Spider-Man fan, you had to have played it, man. Back in my day, like, you had to have played it. This is the coolest game. Not only did it have the coolest fucking Barks cover where it's Carnage just looking down at New York like it's gonna rain hell. I remember watching the commercial for this shit when it came out, and it was badass. All right, just red skies, like shit's about to go crazy when you play this shit. But another thing I loved is the fucking cartridge. The actual game cartridge was red. I think that was the first time I saw like a cartridge that had a different cover. Had a different color than the actual than the other cartridges at the time. So it was cool to just have that red aesthetic going on in the game. And sure enough, the gameplay is pretty much like a beat 'em up game. But the coolest part about this game is that it retold the story of Maximum Carnage. So basically, if you wanted to know like the story of Maximum Carnage, like Carnage escapes Ravensoft Institute, and he breaks out with Screech and whatnot, and it's up to Spider-Man and a bunch of street level heroes to stop them. And this game was just fucking dope. The music was like really good, really amazing, really dope. It had really much a 90s comic book aesthetic throughout the whole entire game. Like, character designs and whatnot look incredible. For its time, of course. You could play as both Spider-Man and Venom, which is, I think, the first time in a Spider-Man game I remember being able to play with the characters. There were cameo assists, so it was like, hey, like, you could call on like Dazzler. Who remembers fucking Dazzler? You could call on her. You could call on, I believe, Captain America. A bunch of other superheroes you could call on to like assist you or do an AoE attack to like kill a bunch of people. And yeah, this game was just a fun little beat 'em up game, and I really enjoyed it. I would say the negatives of this game, however, is that you had to wait. They kind of followed the comic book to a T, and I mean that in the worst ways possible sometimes, because Venom doesn't show up until a few issues later in the comic book, so he doesn't show up until a few missions later in this game, and that leads into another problem. There's no co-op in this game, so once you play it, it is like you're just playing as Spider-Man, and then you'll switch back to Venom, and that's it. And that is it. So there was no co-op, which would have been really better for this game, and overall it just didn't have that shit. And also, this game is fucking hard. Alright, the boss battles in this game, I remember with Double Ganger and like Shriek, like some of the bosses in this game was fucking annoying. Like, you literally was like getting jumped, tag teamed by 2 motherfuckers all the time. You better had saved up your cameo assist shit. You better have saved that shit up, because you were struggling if you did not have those motherfuckers. So yeah, this is A tier though. This is an amazing game, one of the best. Then we have Spider-Man and Venom, the sequel, Spider-Man, Venom, Separation Anxiety. And I'm gonna put this game I'm struggling with this one. Ooh. It's either between a B or a C tier. Alright, for right now, we're going to put it as a C tier. This was the sequel to Maximum Carnage. And this game was a continuation of that storyline. One of the first things I love about this game is the box cover. It was the sickest fucking box cover, because it created this mysterious shit. Like, you knew who Venom was, or you knew who Carnage was, but in the box cover, they had this other character named Shriek, and at the time, I did not know who the fuck that was. I was like, who's Shriek? Who's this, like, Venom woman character? She looks cool, she looks sexy, and I'm like, whoa. I just loved how the box art looked. The art for it looks amazing, and it looks like they're about to get ready to perform in a band. They look like a band, and Spider-Man just looks like the odd person out. Like, why the fuck am I here? And I love this. I love this game. I remember putting a lot of time in this game, because they actually addressed one of the biggest complaints in this game, is that the game has co-op. So now you can play as both Spider-Man and Venom and take down the Life Foundation. And that's the another cool thing. It actually was based off the first Venom story arc from the Lethal Protector run, where, at that time, in the 90s, you had a lot of anti-villains. A lot of anti-heroes. And it was really, really interesting read. That was like when Venom really became big popular, and they was giving him his own book, and he became his own hero. Yeah, this kind of tells the story of that, but not really. Some of the things that's missing in this game is the cutscenes. So in Maximum Carnage, they had cutscenes. Or panels for panels, shot for shots from the actual comic book, and here there's just wall text, and it's like, what the fuck? Just felt cheap. Also, the game just looked cheap. Like, the character models in Maximum Carnage look phenomenal. In Separation Anxiety, they just look not as good. Not that detailed. I don't know if it's because they had to worry about 2 players, so they had to change it up. But man, it was definitely a downgrade. Definitely a downgrade. So also please forgive me if my allergies is fucking killing me. But yeah, like just a downgrade. Just not as good as the first game. This is one of the rarest where the sequel is not as good as the first game. So, moving on, then we have the Sega Genesis Spider-Man. I call this the animated series game. And I'm gonna put this... I'm gonna probably put this... I'm gonna put this at C. Yeah, this was like the animated series of the Spider-Man games, and pretty much, the best things about this game is that it had the fucking 90s Spider-Man cartoon song, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man. It sounded dope in 2-bit format, so that was dope. One of the coolest things I love in this game is that the bosses in this game will randomly appear in the fucking levels and just start wrecking your shit. That was kind of cool, because they just broke out of prison, so it was kind of cool. The environments look really good. I love the Coney Island level. The Coney Island level is so fucking good. And also there was, just like Separation Anxiety and Maximum Carnage, there were cameo heroes that you could get. I believe this time it was the Fantastic Four, and all of them had unique abilities. And I believe they could also send you... I know the Reed Richard one could send you bombs, and that was another plus. Like, I don't know why Spider-Man had bombs, but those bombs were fucking OP. You had to save those bombs, alright? Save your bombs for the boss battles, because once the bombs hit, bruh, once the bomb hits, you were killing motherfuckers in like 2 hits. I would say the biggest negative of this game is that, one, the controls are not that great, in my opinion. Janky as fuck. I would also say that it's very easy to get lost. Very easy to get lost in this game. Because the environments, while look pretty, they don't give you a real sense of, like, where the fuck to go. So, some of the times you would just get lost on certain levels. You'll be like, what the fuck am I supposed to be going? And so, yeah. And I believe this version is the Sega Genesis version, but depending on which version you had, so it was the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo version, they were not the same. They both were were completely different games. I can't tell you about the Super Nintendo version because I've never played it. I played only the Sega Genesis, so it is what it is. The game was pretty damn fun, but it's like a 7. Moving on, Spider-Man Web of Fire. This was for the Sega Genesis 32X. This was like the add-on. I remember my uncle got me not only this game, but he got the add-on for it, because at the time he thought you couldn't play this game without the add-on. And I remember thinking this game is fucking trash. This game was really fucking trash. Only thing I loved about this game was... Actually, let's move this game a little bit down. Actually, only thing I loved about this game at the time was the graphics at the time. The graphics was really good. But that's about it. Everything else about this game is pretty tough. I think that's every one of these games that I've been mentioning. They're pretty tough. The controls were like half of the time not responsive at all. Spider-Man moved like who did it and why. And he moved way too fast in this game. Spider-Man was like booking it like he was the fucking Flash. I get it due to the story. He's probably was like, yo, we gotta go. Like we gotta save New York. Hydra's taking over, so we gotta save those motherfuckers. But yeah, like ridiculous. The hitbox was inconsistent. Like Spider-Man would do this like weird ass fucking his low punch looked like he was swiping your penis, and it was just like the hitbox in this game was just like sometimes your moves you'll be standing right next to the motherfucker and your moves would whiff, and you're like, huh? Like, what the fuck? And then they'll hit you. You'll be like, what the fuck? It was just really, really annoying. And again, the animations for this game look really, really rough. Like, Spider-Man moved weird in this game. This game was a weird-ass game, man. But it is what it is. We just gonna move on from this game. The game was fucking trash. But moving on. We're gonna move on to the greatness. Neversoft fucking Spider-Man. Where should I put this bad boy? This is S tier. Pizza time, baby. Let's throw a pizza party for the fucking GOAT, man. This game, I'm so disappointed in the Web Warriors. A lot of Web Warriors I saw did not play this game, and I was very disappointed. This game laid the foundation for great Spider-Man games. Like this was, you could tell Neversoft was a team that was like, we're excited, we love Spider-Man, and we're gonna make the bangest fucking Spider-Man game. It's probably the last time we make a Spider-Man game, which it was, sadly. But we're gonna go hard as a motherfucker, and they went hard as a motherfucker. They threw everything at this fucking game. Alright, this was peak Spider-Man game at the time. First of all, the fucking intro for this game is stout, bruh. Like, the Neversoft intro goes hard as fuck, where the eye is moving around and whatnot, and then it gets stabbed by the spike, bruh. So fucking, and then the Spider-Man logo comes on the screen. It gets you hyped, and then motherfucker, you had the PS1 and the PC port of this game had the fucking coolest fucking theme song. They had the Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and then halfway through, some fucking Jamaican dude comes in and is like, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, he went hard as fuck. Like, Neversoft was smoking when they made this fucking game, bro. Like, they were like snorking some cocaine. And they also had it like the Nintendo 64 version. I owned the PC, the PS1 version of this game, and the fucking Nintendo 64. And Nintendo 64, of course, was kind of weak, but it made up for it because all the cutscenes were done in like a comic book format to read, and it was fucking awesome. Again, this was the first Spider-Man game, and the first fully voice acted Spider-Man game. And the coolest part is they got the old Spider-Man Unlimited voice actor to do the voice of Spider-Man. I think his name is Rino Romano. Yeah, Rino Romano. I'm probably fucking butchering this poor man's name. Rino Romano did the voice of Spider-Man, and I believe he did the voice for Spider-Man in the Ultimate, in the Spider-Man Unlimited cartoon show. And he does a fantastic job as Spider-Man in this game. Like, his voice and his banter between characters is really fucking good. So, for the first time, we had some really impressive voice acting, and that was the first time we actually got a cartoon Spider-Man to come in and do the voice. So that was fucking dope. And of course, you had the fucking, speaking of voice actors, you had the fucking late great, the all-father himself, fucking Stan the Goat Lee, come in and be the narrator. Motherfucker, play the clip, bro. Play the clip.
Welcome, true believers and newcomers alike. Spider-Man co-creator Stan Lee here. Once again, we find our hero Peter Parker, better known around the world as the Amazing Spider-Man, in a heap of trouble. But this is just the beginning, Spidey fans. So get ready for a true superhero action thriller, packed to the brim with thrills and chills, twists and turns, more supervillains than you can shake a web at, and of course, non-stop web-slinging, wall-crawling action.
Tell me, you not gonna tell me when you hear that shit, it don't get you the most pump for this fucking game, alright? To have Stan Lee, the fucking co-creator of Spider-Man, come in and be the narrator of this fucking game, it felt like the most coolest shit ever, bro. Like, it made the game feel epic. It made the game feel like enthusiastic because Stan is getting into it, so you're getting into it. It was fucking great. And again, the story felt like a Saturday morning cartoon, but a good one. Like, shit is just popping off. It's like the typical day in the life Spider-Man. You have fucking Spider-Man getting framed, and then the police is fucking after him, but wait, we gotta go stop the fucking bank robbers, and then we gotta go save JJ, and then Spider-Man gets a 5 wanted level from GTA. He gets a 5-star wanted level, and then you got the cops going hard as fuck on Spider-Man. Then after that, fucking my man, fucking Venom steals MJ, and you gotta go save Mary Jane. But Spider-Man's like, wait, fuck that bitch, she burnt the chicken, so we gotta go fucking get Rhino. And the game it's just like, escalation wise, it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. This game is, and again, the cameos, this is before the time where nowadays where you can't do certain license because of legal reasons, but at the time when this game came out, you could have fucking used everybody, bro. You could use everybody. And then like the level designs in the game was really good. It took all the great abilities of Spider-Man and made levels out of them. So you have one level where, like, when you get to the sewers, you have one level where you have to do puzzle solving while, you know, wall crawling. You'll have another level that's like a full-on beat 'em up, and then you'll have another level where you'll have to web swing from point A to point B, and then throughout the whole time there'll be certain levels where you have to do all of that, you know. And this game was just like, in terms of just greatness, this game was just amazing. All right, then you let me just run down the list, man. Then you had costumes. This was the first Spider-Man game that had costumes. I remember vividly. There were so many different costumes. Of course, you had your standard. You had the Ben Reilly Spider-Man costume. You had so many different Spider-Man costumes. And the cool part is, every Spider-Man costume had their own unique abilities. So, for instance, if you had the black suit or the symbiote suit, Spider-Man suit, you had unlimited weapon. Then you have, let's just say if you was playing like Peter Parker, you had limited webs. Or if you was playing as Spider-Man Unlimited, you could go invisible. Or if you was playing as Cosmic Spider-Man, instant kill everything in the game. Like, incredible for its time. That was incredible that they thought of that. And then you had other modes. You had like Kid Mode. Kid Mode was like the easy mode, but they actually made it kind of fun because like certain levels and stuff would be blocked off and you could just go through the game very fast. But then they had, when you beat the game, like what if mode, and what if it had like cool, like little fun little Easter eggs, like one level where you have to run and go save I believe Scorpion. You have to go and while you're racing to get there, fucking Ghost Rider is just riding his bike on the buildings. You're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I believe they make a joke about Thing's fishbowl head. There's a fish in Mysterio's head, which is funny, bruh. And again, like, there was just so much cameos in the game. Like, they had fucking Daredevil, they had Punisher, they had fucking Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four, motherfucker. Like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, this game was wild, man. Wild, man. And the music was so good. Bruh. The Mysterio theme, motherfucker, the bank ice theme, the training theme, bro, it was, yo, this game was fucking amazing, bro. They were smoking, bro. They were smoking when they made this game. Last but not least, Venom. Venom was such the highlight. When I talk about why I love Venom, Let There Be Carnage, I mostly am talking why I like it because of this fucking game right here. Venom in this game is fucking hilarious. He's a dork. He is a fucking dork. He's trying to be a hero in this game, and he's a fucking idiot. He is so hilarious. He has one of my favorite moments in the game between him and Spider-Man, and he's like, oh, fucking... where did Spider-Wuss go? Spider-Wuss, come out and play. Tag. Ah. Like, yo, the banter with him. The fucking, the surf the web joke. Oh my goodness. Yo, this game is amazing. And, yo, shout outs to the mod community for the PC port. Like, people were just adding in crazy shit to this game after the release, and it's impressive what they've added in. More costumes. They found shit in the files of like old designs of shit. This game is amazing. This was the definitive Spider-Man game, and again, I can't praise this anymore. But of course, it is a little dated now. I would say the biggest issue with this game is that it can be a little janky now if you go back and play it. The controls, and in particular the camera, because you can't control the camera. The camera works on where Spider-Man is facing. So if Spider-Man's facing by a wall, he'll point at a wall. The camera will point to the wall. All right, so it was kind of like a little janky. I ain't gonna lie to you. And then the final thing, Monster Ogg. That final fucking level. Fuck that level. Alright? That shit gave me nightmares as a fucking kid. Alright? And even now, like, trying to replay that shit, you better have learned web zip cancel and web swing cancel. Because that fucking level was a pain in the ass. Alright? That level was extraordinary fucking hard. Jesus Christ. But nevertheless, that is Spider-Man for the PS1. They knocked it out of the park. These guys should be rewarded. They laid the foundation for great Spider-Man games to coming forward. Moving on, we're going to get into the sequel, and I don't know what the fuck it is about sequels. But this shit, Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro. Honestly, I feel like giving it a C tier. Yeah, we're going to give it a C for right now. I'll probably change it. But, yeah, this was the sequel to Spider-Man one. The sad part is, Neversoft didn't do this game. It was Vicarious Visions that did this. And you could just feel when another developer comes in and do some shit. Like, this game feels like, well, we didn't have time to change or do anything, so we're just making the same shit again. There was barely any improvements, alright? Yeah, barely any improvements. It was more of the same. The only thing I would give this game props is that the boss battles in this game was very unique. And that's another thing about the first game. The boss battles were fucking awesome in the game. You had Rhino, you had Venom, you had Doc Ock, you had Carnage in the first game. Like, they went all out in this game. They were like, this might be our only fucking time to do this game, so let's fucking just put every fucking top tier Spider-Man villain and make sure you can battle them. In this, they took like Sandman. But the cool thing is that in the Sandman boss battle, you can't go out and damage him. You have to actually, you know, the gimmick is that you have to drain him with water in order to damage him, you know. Or the Lizard, which Lizard is in the first game, which I didn't even know this shit until literally a few years ago. In the first game, Lizard is in the first game as an Easter egg, and he tells you how to get to his lab. And here he's in this game, and fuck me, his boss battle is fucking annoying, but it's cool because you have to make an antidote for your web, and you have to shoot him with the web to get his armor off, and so you can start punching on the motherfucker. That was cool. So little gimmicks like that. You can now go on the street level, which was pretty neat, because in the first game, there was a limitation, of course, at the time, but they found a cool way, story reasons why you can't go on the ground, because there was a frog in the game, and it discouraged your vision, so you couldn't see shit. So if you try to drop to lower level, it would kill Spider-Man, and that was cool. And here they fixed that. You know, you could go through the street levels, and there's a couple of like secret little stuff, throw balls and shit, and play ball and shit. It was kind of cool, you know, kind of cool. But yeah, like, this game was just more of the same. It also didn't have the fun little cameos, besides like Beast telling you like, hey, you can use your fucking spider compass, and you're like, Beast, what the fuck are you doing, my guy? So yeah, like, this game was just like mid. It was, you could definitely tell somebody else did this game, and that sucks. But we have the sequel, the final Neversoft game, and that would be Spider-Man Mysterio Menace. And I would give this B tier, because this was like the final trilogy of the Neversoft run. And I gotta say, this game was pretty fucking good when I was playing it as a kid. I don't remember much. I remember it looking really good. It was very short. And if I'm not mistaken, Big Wheels was in this game. Yeah, Big Wheels was in this game. Yeah, I remember his fucking dorky ass was in this game as a boss battle. Other than that, yeah, it was pretty much a fun time. I think because it was short, I give it a high score. But again, none of these two games, and it was made by Vicarious Vision, the same dudes who did this, who did Spider-Man 2. And this was like their redemption, so they did better on here. There was also an upgrade system in this game, but no different costumes. That's the thing about Spider-Man 2, is that it had costumes in it. That's more costumes, which was dope. Oh, and another thing about Spider-Man 2 that I forgot to say is that, you know, it had a custom costume. So you could pick a costume, and then you can go and then you can pick a costume, and then you can go and put in a special ability on those costumes. mix and match special abilities. So it was kind of cool. It was fun and dope. So they tried their best with this game. But back to Mysterio Menace. Pretty good game. It was a little kiddie game. It was fine. It's fine. It's fine. I think it's better Spider-Man games. All right. It was better. It was better Spider-Man games than this.